In this tutorial, we are going to create a simple birthday flyer like this. Without talking much, let's get started. So first of all, I'll click on my new file. Then I'll name my design. I'll name it birthday design. My size of the document is 4 inch of the width and 4 inch on the height. Converting it to pixels, it's 1200 by 1200, but you can use any kind of pixels. You can use 1080 by 1080, any kind you want. Your resolution 300. Then you create your document. So my next thing I'll do is I'll come over here, this icon at the bottom. I'll click on that and I'll click on gradient. I've already make my gradient over here, so I'll click on that. But if you want to know the same color, or you want to use the same color, I'll click over here. You can copy the color code over here. Mine is 380049 for the darker violet or purple. On the lighter side is E400FF, as you can see. If you don't want to use this purple color, you can click over here. You change the color to any color that you want. You can use the slider over here to change it to maybe yellow, green, cyan, blue, any color that you want. Same as the lighter side, any red. Then you change the color that you chose to. Maybe you chose blue, but you don't want the blue to be deeper. Then you decrease it. You move it to the lighter side so that you can get a lighter blue. So I'll click on OK. Then I'll change my style to radial. And I'll click on reverse radial. Then I'll increase my scale. The increase of the scale will increase the radial in the middle. It will increase the size and it will make it bigger. So you could increase it small like that. Then I'll click on my radial and move it up like this. So you can move it to any side that you want, but I want to move it up over here. Then I'll click on OK. So my next thing that I will do is I'll click on my rectangle or my shape tool over here. I'll right click on it and I'll select the ellipse tool here. Then I'll draw a circle. Drawing the circle, I'll hold shift to create a perfect circle like that. So I'll turn off my fill because I don't want any fill in it. So I'll turn off my fill. Then I'll select white for my stroke over here. The stroke is a bit thin. That is the reason you can't see it, but I'll increase the size coming over here. Click over here and increase the slider. You can see the stroke is becoming bigger. So I want it to be around let's say 20. Let's look at how 20 will look like. Yeah, I think it's okay. I'll press Ctrl T, then resize my shape. I think it's bigger. I'll make it smaller. Then I'll center it like that. I think it's quite bigger. Let me make it smaller. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, so my next thing that I'll do is I'll duplicate my ellipse over here. So I'll press Ctrl J to duplicate it, or if you don't want to press Ctrl J, you can drag it over here and bring it to this new layer over here, it will create another one. But if you don't want to use that, just press Ctrl J to duplicate that. Select that newly created ellipse, that newly duplicated ellipse. You press Ctrl J, then you hold Alt. This will decrease the size perfectly. It'll make a point in the middle, then you decrease the size towards the middle so that it will be perfectly aligned with the first created ellipse, as you can see. So I'll create another one by pressing Ctrl J. I'll select the newly created duplicate, press Ctrl T, again hold Alt and decrease the size. This time around, I don't want the third duplicate ellipse to be bigger like that, so I'll click on my ellipse while that layer is selected. I'll go to the stroke and I'll decrease the size to maybe, let me say 7 pixels. Yeah, so that layer, I have to turn off the fill before I bring in my picture. If you don't turn on the fill, it will create a different thing altogether. So let me bring my picture and try for you to see what I'm talking about. I'll bring my picture over here. So this is my subject. I want to place my subject into the first ellipse, that is the inner one, the inner part. So I'll right click on that and go to clip, create clipping mask. Then I'll turn on my layer. You see it has created the clipping mask inside the stroke only. If you let me zoom in for you to see, let me turn it on and off. You can see it's inside the ellipse, but this time around we don't want it to be inside the stroke, but we want to make it inside the whole circle. So the thing that we will do here is we will turn on our fill of that layer like this. If you prefer, you can turn off your, let me select the ellipse again, your stroke. If you don't want to, you can leave it like that. So I'll turn off my stroke like this. Now if I turn it on, you can see that it has placed the picture inside the circle as we want it. So now you can move your picture to where you want it to be, like that. So now the next thing we are going to do is we type our text. So our text here is happy birthday. The name of my font is MTN Brighter Sans, as you can see on top here. So you can go to the font to download MTN Brighter Sans, or you can search it on Google, MTN Brighter Sans font download. It will give you website for you to download this. In the next video, I'll show you how to install font into Photoshop if you don't know how to do it. So let's move on. Birthday. I'll click okay, then I'll bring my happy birthday text right here. You know, if you want to add some wishful text like I wish you a joyous blah 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 under it, you just create another text over here, then you type in or you copy or paste it where you want it. But I want that text to be small, 6 pixels. Let me use 5 like that. So as for you, you can use any wishful text that you prefer, but I don't have any wishful text now. This is a tutorial. Okay, it is perfectly placed. So my next thing is I'll bring the paper fold over the right corner here. Right click on it, go to place bed, bring my paper fold, make it a bit smaller, and I place it very well at the corner side. If you want, you can use the pen tool to draw over here and delete the black side, or you can use your eraser to carefully erase, but I don't want that because it's having a black background. I'll just change the blending mode to screen and it will do a job, just simple as that. Yeah, so my next thing that I'll do is I'll create those series of circles at the left side. No, I think the top side here and the right side here. So I'll click on my shape tool, right click, go to ellipse tool. I'll zoom in and draw small ellipse, hold shift to make a perfect circle. This time around, make it very small. Turn on your fill, then I'll make it white. Yeah, so I'll click on that shape that I created. Now I'll press Ctrl J, 1 2 3 4. Let's go 5 like that. Then I'll bring the top one and I'll hold shift to align it very well like this. Then I'll select all. I can't select because my background is messing around, so I'll click on my background and I'll lock it so that I can select this. So I'll select all of that. Then I'll go to distribute vertically. Photoshop will calculate the distance between all these and give a perfect lining and spacing for it. It makes it easy for you not to, manually place it below and make sure that the spacing is okay. So it's quite easy over here. So I'll select these shapes and I'll bring it over here to the top. I'll select it again and I'll hold Alt to duplicate all these layers and bring it here. First of all, I'll release the Alt and I'll release my mouse, left click over here. I'll select it, then place it very well. Yeah, I think this is okay if it's an okay flyer for a birthday, but if you want to add some touches to it, you have to add a plus sign over here. Plus sign. Let me increase the size to, I think this is bigger, 60. Yeah, so my plus sign, I'll right click on the type to over here with the plus sign. I'll right click on that and go to select pixels. Then I'll go to select modify contract. Contract will decrease the size of the selection that you have made by the number of pixels that you select over here. So I've selected 2, so it will decrease the selection by 2 pixels. So you can see that the selection is almost at the outer line of the plus over here. The moment I click OK, you can see that it have moved 2 pixels to the inner of the plus sign. Then I press delete. Pressing delete won't delete anything here. It will tell you that you cannot use the move to because blah blah blah. How to fix this is you right click, then you go to rasterize type. This changes the type to a shape layer so that you can delete the inner part of the plus sign. So I'll delete the inner part like that. Then I'll go to select, then deselect what I've selected. I think it has come out nicely. Press Ctrl T. No, let me select this one only. Ctrl T, make it smaller and change the direction over here. You can duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J, then bring it over to the other side over here. Yeah. So for today's tutorial, this is all for today's tutorial.